This is Ron with the Bitcoin Pal team, the personal assistant for learning Bitcoin in the aiforall hackathon presented by Bolt.fun. So the problem as we see it is that new users don't have a great place to go for trusted Bitcoin resources. False information, scams, disinformation, or even outdated info due to new enhancements, things of that nature, gets confusing for users. And our team really does believe that open source LLMs are going to be developed exponentially faster than the closed source ones, right? And we can also incentivize our users by paying Bitcoin to help train those LLMs and refine them for accuracy. And this is our solution, Bitcoin Pal. Bitcoin Pal is an LLM chatbot that users can query. It's also a repository of source documentation, such as the white paper, RFCs, and BIPs, and other things the model has been trained on. And then we also have the crowdsourcing portion. So here's how it kind of works from an architecture standpoint. A user queries the front end, sends it to the back end. It uses the LLM model with our trained document repository, and then returns the answer all the way back through to the front end to the user. We can do this multiple ways, either in the command line with the console, an API using REST-based services, or a web front end. And then on the ingestion process, users can help train this. And if it goes through a PR approval process, which we'll show in the demo, the AI model is going to be enhanced. We're going to make calls to some daemons on the back end, and then the user is going to receive Bitcoin for their submission. And then our front end website's coded in React. It's all very responsive and then quotes the source documentation that was used to compile the answer if the user would like to deep dive further. In the instance where an answer is not found, we're prompting the user to submit a PR to our repo, and we're providing some criteria here. And if that PR is accepted, the user is eligible to be paid out in Bitcoin because they're helping train the efficiency and accuracy of the model. So now we're going to go ahead and jump into a demo. So we have the Bitcoin Pal solution here running with the LLM chatbot loaded on the left and some terminal windows here on the right for the different pieces, the ingestion, the front end, and the back end server. So we're going to go ahead and show you the source documents that we're consuming, and at this point we're going to ingest them. Now we've cut some of the processing time out just for demo purposes, but you can see here we've ingested the Python source documents, we've made a new vector store, and then created embeddings that can be referenced in the vector store by the LLM model. And this should come back and say that we now have documents and we can run the solution either on the command line or on the server. So we're going to go ahead and restart our front end, and you'll see the page refresh there on the left. We've done some fade in animations, try to make it smooth. And we're going to start the back end server, which is listening on a port. So it's loading the GPT model. And if we go over to the left-hand side, we can now start to query on port 8000 from our front end. So we're going to ask this, what is a hot wallet, and query it. And we can see on the bottom right there, we've now process the call. It's processing in the web browser, and in the bottom right, we've got a call, an HTTP call to the port. And now on the bottom right, the backend server has returned a JSON response, quoting the answer, the question, as well as a list of the sources it uses to compile the answer. And if we look on the left, we're formatting that now in a pane and a modal, and it's giving us an answer plus the source documentation that was used to create that. So for this one specifically, what is a hot wallet? We are referencing BIP 49, BIP 329, BIP 81. It's pulling various documentation to come up with that generalized answer. In the instance where we ask it a question and it does not have knowledge, most LLMs would give you a general answer at this point. But we're going to ask this, what is Vitalik? And because of our Bitcoin filter, we don't have any Vitalik related Bitcoin items, right? So at this point, we're prompting the user to do a PR. They can submit this document if they want with accepted criteria, and submitting that PR will go to our repo and allow them to do that process. So I have done that here, and I've titled my PR with my Lightning address. So I'm submitting a new document, right? We're going to pull an about page from Bitcoin Magazine that Vitalik helped found. We have the text here. And when we go through, our GitHub Actions is actually scoring our documentation to say how relevant is it for the repo maintainer. The repo maintainer is going to go in and review it and decide whether to merge it or not. And in the instance where they merge it here, we're going to fire another GitHub action. We just saw that load there. And what this is doing is this is going to go in and it's going to do the payout action. We'll show that now, the code that's actually running that, or the job that's running that. And when we go in here, we're going to go into the get paid GitHub action. We can see the job is set up. It's verifying some connectivity to our node and our backend daemon. We're creating the actual invoice, passing it over the wire, and then sending the payment, right? So we can show here in the Albi extension on the incoming payments, 85 sats. Thank you for your contribution. Thank you for letting us present, and we hope to revise Bitcoin education one question and one document at a time.